111-101 to even their first-round series at 1 game apiece. The Atlanta Braves got a walk-off single from Michael Harris to score Ronald Acuna Jr. as they beat the Miami Marlins 4-3 in 10 innings. After the victory, Atlanta is now 17-6 on the season. And other games around the majors, the Cardinals, Mets, Orioles, Red Sox, Brewers, Reds, Dodgers, Rays, and Yankees were all winners. With your Thursday sports, I'm Chris Miller.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are sinking, dragged down by a weaker than expected gross domestic product reading for the first quarter. It's a sign economic growth has stalled along with progress on inflation. The GDP rose just 1.6%. And Facebook's parent company Meta Platforms shares are slumping. Its forecast is cautious at the same time it plans major spending on artificial intelligence. Southwest Airlines is predicting significant challenges from Boeing's production slowdown. It has stalled hiring. It is pulling out of 4 airports. Southwest shares down more than 9%. Comcast signed up more Peacock subscribers in the recent quarter, though it experienced a decline in broadband customers. Comcast shares are losing ground. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Something amazing is happening in animation. Studios are processing data faster. That's because CDW showed them new ways to maximize their infrastructure, then built a flexible Dell Technologies data solution. More automation led to reduced maintenance times and greater efficiency, so that creativity stays the star of the show. Dell Technologies and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Data.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. The Supreme Court's hearing former President Trump's claim of presidential immunity in his federal election interference case. Trump attorney John Sauer.
Without presidential immunity from criminal prosecution, there can be no presidency as we know it.
A federal appeals court ruled in February Trump is not immune from prosecution for his role in trying to overturn the 2020 election results. He's in New York at his hush money business records trial.
There could also be a ruling on Tuesday's gag order hearing, something the former president addressed in comments early today.
They've taken constitutional right away with a gag order. That's all it is. It's election interference.
Prosecutors say the former president has violated the gag order 10 times in social media posts and statements, requesting a $10,000 fine and for the post to be removed.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers in New York. Stocks are way down today. America's listening to Fox News.
In the News Center, I'm Stephen Stone. York County Government sent a release yesterday documenting the damage done and warning the public on solicitations. The York County Office of Emergency Management, along with the York County Tax Assessor's Office and York County Planning and Development Services, spent Tuesday conducting assessments of the areas impacted the most by the storm. Chuck Haynes is York County Emergency Management Director. He talks about being in a tough spot and trying to qualify for federal funds.
For us to qualify for the FEMA program to put money in people's pocket, we have to have 100 homes destroyed, and we don't have that. And so then for government to get money, we have to have about $10.5 million worth of damage on the public side. We don't have that either.
Also in their release by the county, they warn of solicitors taking advantage of residents as it pertains to repairs. They encourage all property owners to do their own research before paying for a service. In the News Center, I'm Stephen Stone.
WRHI Rock Hill, W261CY Rock Hill. Good Pharmacy, Rock Hill's hometown pharmacy for over 60 years. Camden Avenue at Ebenezer Road. Straight Talk on WRHI FM 100.1 and CN2 is presented by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now here's Manning Kimmel broadcasting live from Substation 2 on Cherry Road in Rock Hill with Straight Talk, selected by the South Carolina Broadcasters Association as the state's top public affairs program.
And a good afternoon. Welcome into Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop for another edition of our Straight Talk program presented by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Our thanks to our co-sponsor today, Anderson Griggs Investments in Old Town Rock Hill. Common sense, intelligent advice for conservative investors. You can find out more online at AndersonGriggs.com. And our thanks to Good Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy, Ebenezer Road at Camden Avenue in Rock Hill. Today, very pleased to have back with us at Straight Talk the Executive Director of the Carolina Community Actions, period, Karen Brackett Browning. This is a lady who I've had the pleasure of getting to know here over the last few years. We both serve on the Pathways Board, and she is one veritable font of information. I am just amazed at what you all do down there. It's just unreal. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a second. Let's tell everybody a little bit about your background.
Well, first of all, good afternoon. Thank you so much for the opportunity to allow me to be back with you again. As aforementioned, I'm Karen Brackett Browning, Executive Director of Carolina Community Actions. I'm a Carolina Community Actions baby from the beginning, so to speak. I actually came to CCA right out of college and worked there for 9 years, worked in just about every capacity that I could, went to Charlotte and became the Executive Director for the Community Action Agency Charlotte Area Fund in Charlotte for 21 years, and then was allowed to come back to Carolina in 2017 to continue the work of that wonderful agency here in the York County community. So I'm just grateful to be back home to continue the work that needs to be done to help our impoverished individuals and our neighbors in the community.
Now, you serve more than just York County, do you not?
We do. We have a footprint in 5 counties. We actually serve Chester, Fairfield, Lancaster, Union, and York County, South Carolina.
Jeez. So, give us a thumbnail sketch of what CCA does, because it's quite something. And I mean, I know where you're located. You're in Pathways down here. You got a ton of people in and out of there all the time. What is it that you're doing?
Well, Carolina Community Actions is what is known as the designated community action agency for those respective counties that we've aforementioned. Basically, what we do is pilot programs to meet the needs of the community. We do that often with partnerships. We try to secure funding so that we can ensure that the needs are met. The agencies like ours, community action agencies, came about in the 60s, in 1964 and 65, with the passage of the Economic Opportunity Act. In 1964, President Lyndon Johnson declared a war on poverty because he knew that something needed to be done about the plight of poor people in the country. So as a result of that, the Economic Opportunity Act was passed in 65, and the Federal Office of Economic Opportunity was created, and thus we have all types of community action agencies, more than 1,000 across the country.
Jeez.
And so we were supposed to pilot programs, conduct needs assessments to see where there are needs in the community to serve the economically disadvantaged or poor people. Because one of our premises is that poverty can be eliminated by creating an environment that encourages opportunities for all, and that community action agencies should develop those opportunities, of course, with partnerships. There's nothing we can do without the partners that we have in each of these communities. You've aforementioned Pathways. Pathways is a wonderful partner. We are located in the Pathways Community Center. We are located in all 5 of the counties with other offices, but specifically, Pathways is one of those centers that we're located in to help ensure a point of entry, a single point of entry for individuals that come, so that it will not be so stressful for them seeking assistance.
So with all of your background in this work, do you get disheartened by the fact that here we are all these years later, and we have plenty of poor people? I mean, Lord knows how much time, effort, and money is poured into this.
Every once in a while, I probably get a little disheartened, but then I'm encouraged even more by when I see individuals who have overcome those challenges and are thriving. The needs of individuals have changed somewhat throughout the years, and so that provides opportunity as well as challenges. But I'm encouraged even more so by the number of other entities that have that have stepped up or will partner with us to help to address those particular issues.
Yeah. Well, as the good Lord told us, the poor will always be with you.
I agree.
And that's it's as true today as it was back then. So, on top of everything that you do, we've had this great big storm come through here. Hail is it just beat up a lot of people, particularly on the south side of Rock Hill. Has that increased the number of phone calls, traffic, whatever, through CCA?
It definitely has. We were contacted on Monday by our State Office of Economic Opportunity, who told us that there could possibly be some funds available. So at that time, we started keeping a list of individuals that contacted us regarding the need for assistance. And that list is growing tremendously with people that are their homes have been just demolished by debris, by trees, by whatever may have occurred. Their cars, their automobiles have been affected. Their entire life has been affected. So yes, we are receiving many more calls than we normally would as a result of the storm. It's just exasperated an already a system that's already bogged down.
Jeez. So the other 4 counties that you serve, have they did they get any storm damage at all that you're aware of?
They have not made us aware of any storm damage. They are still carrying on business as usual, which is to try to serve individuals who may be in need of assistance with utilities, as well as those. We try to conduct assessment to help prevent evictions, homelessness. So they're carrying on business as usual in that capacity, whereas York County has been overrun, so to speak, with a number of individuals who have just been don't know where to go, don't know what to do, because this is a new problem on top of the additional issues that they're facing.
So let's just imagine somebody whose home has been destroyed by hail, and they've got no place to live, which obviously turns their world upside down. They very quickly could become a statistic, adding to the number of people who are homeless. So they must be knocking on your door saying, what can you do to help me?
They are. They're asking, what can you do to help me? Can you put me up in a night stay or a couple of nights stay or a week or so stay with the hotels? Many are going with family members in their homes, which means that you now have to create some stability within that home, where you may have 2 or 3 families residing in the same home right now. So that has impact upon that home already, especially if that was a low-income home already to speak of.
So you mentioned that you're going to go after some special funding that may be available. If you don't get that, do you have any dollars at all that you can try to help out these particular people with?
We don't at the present moment. We are trying to conduct an analysis of the funding that we have to see if we can use some that will, that may take on a new identity to allow us to help in this emergency situation. We feel pretty sure, though, that the state will grant us some emergency funds to help individuals in this capacity, especially since they called and asked, what did we need?
All right. So just so people understand, in the course of a year, your budget year, you're allocating out in all these different programs, that you have, how many millions, and I'm using the word millions of dollars, because it is substantial, is it not?
Well, I wanted to share with you also our impact report.
Okay.
So for the program year of 2022-2023, Carolina Community Action served 10,461 households, and those households were comprised of 19,321 individuals with the various programs that we have. So we feel that with our partners, we've been good stewards of the funds. The funds that were used were in the amount of $12 million. Let me get that amount for you. It was $12,915. $12,915,038 to serve that number of households.
Golly day. And again, this is all different types of programs that you have.
It is.
Utility assistance, rental assistance. I mean, there's a whole
Even
list.
our Head Start programs for the youth, for our children, because that's a comprehensive program where we serve not only just children, we serve the entire family. So with all of the programs that we had during that program year, we used $12,915,038 to serve 10,461 households.
Jeez. Wow. And that's money that's going directly out to these people for whatever the reasons are. This is not the overhead of CCA or any of that kind of stuff.
Direct services.
Wow. Jeez. Okay. So if you are successful at the state level, what's a possibility? What might you be able to get your hands on? $1 million?
I am not exactly sure at this point. That's why we were creating a list of the needs so that we could tell the state exactly what the needs are and see what we could do with those funds.
So that list might include utility money, rental money, whatever that list is.
We definitely hope that it includes rental money to get people into safe, stable housing, because right now, again, people have been displaced, whole families have been displaced because their homes have been totally destroyed.
Jeez. Ooh. Wow. Just what we don't need.
Exactly. On top of a market where we have the lack of affordable housing already.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about that. Because I mentioned to you before we went on the air this morning, there was an interesting report that came out from an operation called Construction Coverage or something like that. And what it showed was nationwide, the average household income is about $72,000, $73,000, $74,000. And the average home price nationwide, I'm going to say, is $320,000, $325,000. Now, when you take a look at Rock Hill, what's really upside down is that ratio of income to housing values. They're showing the average household income is $62,000, $63,000, yet the average price of the house is almost the same as it is nationwide, about $314,000. So therein is a huge upside down problem that you got to deal with every day.
It is. The gap continues to widen as it relates to those who have access to funding that will allow them to obtain the housing that they need, or many of the individuals that we serve, while they are employed every day, we have what we call the those that are employed, that are working every day, doing everything that they can, but they are unable to afford housing here in Rock Hill, and especially home ownership.
Which is really almost, when you think that an average mortgage is well under $1,500 a month, which people are paying now for an apartment, then you say, well, why aren't these people buying a house? Well, I guess there's two problems. Number one is down payment. And I know there's some down payment assistance programs out there. But the other thing is stock, housing stock. Where are they going to find something to live in?
The inventory is very low, and it's very competitive. The inventory that may exist, you have other entities or other individuals who have a higher income that's competing for that same inventory. So naturally, a seller is going to take the best offer. An individual with much more income may offer funding or may offer a price that is well above the asking price, whereas a low-income individual would not be able to do that.
And when you have an area like ours, which is growing rapidly in population, people are moving here from, we're one of the three fastest growing states in the nation. Mm-hmm. Florida, South Carolina, Texas, right? So you add all that in, and the deck is kind of stacked against us, which means what is CCA going to do about this?
Well, again, as we've aforementioned, we are working with some groups. We're working with various groups and individuals that's been led by Pathways, as you are aware, to address the lack of affordable housing in the community. We really need to develop a plan. We have a coalition of individuals that we are working with and trying to engage the services of others to engage a plan, because if not, that gap is going to continue to widen, and individuals, as you stated, are continuing to come. There are approximately 55 families relocating to the Charlotte area every day. Well, the residual of those families are coming to areas like Rock Hill, Lancaster County, Chester County, the areas that CCA serves. So how are we going to prepare ourselves to welcome those neighbors and make sure that the residents that are here are able to live in dignity and access the opportunities that should be available to them?
Well, you know, it seems to me, I always remember a friend of mine by the name of Bobby Norwood, who was very involved with this stuff years and years and years ago. And he made a comment that you measure the greatness of a city not by its superhighways and shopping malls, but by how it best takes care of those who are in need. Now, we're not talking about handouts here. We're talking about people who are working every day. I mean, we have, if you talk to people at Lifehouse or Bethel or what have you, you're going to find that there are people who are professionals, teachers, who do not have a place to live.
That's right.
So they're hanging out at Lifehouse or wherever. I mean, it just, we got to do better. We got to do better.
That is one of our goals, too, because we realize that serving the best interests of the poor is the best interest of all people. So a community that embraces that particular analogy will be a community that thrives. You have to care about everyone in the community and help everyone in the community have the opportunity to thrive.
Well, you just look right around here. Here we are at Substation 2. We have all these young people making sandwiches and working as hard as they can. Don't they deserve to have the same opportunity you're talking about as others do? I mean, we got to figure out a platform to make this thing work. Okay, we're well past our mid-program break, which is why we are here. And let us remind you that you are listening to Straight Talk live from Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop, where we prepare fresh subs and salads 7 days a week. Our broadcast presented by Founders Federal Credit Union, Relax Your with Founders, and by Anderson Griggs Investments in Old Town Rock Hill. Common sense, intelligent advice for conservative investors. Find out more online at andersongriggs.com. All right, we want to thank Piedmont Medical Center as well, a community built on care. You can find out more about them online at PiedmontMedicalCenter.com. Okay, we do fresh subs and salads here at Substation 2. We do it 6 days a week between 10A and 9P. We would do it 7 days, but he's too lazy over there. So how do we do what we do day after day at the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
Slice, slice, slice. Garden, garden, garden.
Back after these words.
If it's 12:30, it's Straight Talk on WRHI and CN2.
Have you ever wondered why so many people enjoy dining at Substation 2?
Substation 2 is excellent. It's fresh. The buns just feel like they came out of the oven, and you can't beat the deli meat.
I'm Charlie Ruffalo, and I guarantee you'll feel the same way after eating here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop.
Emergency care close to home. The team at Piedmont Medical Center has the advanced training to handle your medical emergencies, and we're making it easier for you to access care every day. For non-life-threatening problems, online ER check-in is available at all our emergency room locations, meaning less waiting room time, more peace of mind. Simply visit PiedmontMedicalCenter.com, pick a time you want to be seen, and then wait at home while we hold your place. For life-threatening emergencies, call 911. Piedmont Medical Center, a community built on care.
Relax with a discounted mortgage rate from Founders Federal Credit Union without paying for discount points. For a limited time, don't pay the 1% fee and get the lower rate. And don't forget, Founders never charges for PMI or private mortgage insurance. Unlock your dream home with a great rate and a Founders expert to guide you through the home financing process. Stop by a convenient office location or apply on Founders online by May 31st to lock in your lower rate. Visit foundersfcu.com/mortgage to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required. Equal housing lender.
When disaster strikes, one of the most important things is getting life back to normal. A little compassion can go a long way. Paul Davis is here for you. Paul Davis is committed to handling any property damage with exceptional care because what we do is about more than property. It's about people. We have the training and expertise necessary to completely restore your property fast. For all your cleanup and restoration needs, call the experts at Paul Davis Restoration at 329-1140 or find us online at pauldavisrockhill.com.
Have you been personally managing your investment account? Are you happy with your results? Maybe you should consider hiring a genuine money manager. If you have $100,000 or more, call the professionals at Anderson Griggs Investments and see how they can help you. Anderson Griggs, 324-5044, or online at andersongriggs.com.
There are lots of reasons why people like dining at Substation 2.
I like the lunch special pricing.
I like the bread, good prices, and location.
Man, it's just utterly delicious.
I'm Charlie Ruffalo, and I guarantee you'll feel the same way after eating here at Substation 2, Cherry Road, across from Winthrop.
Straight Talk on WRHI FM 100.1 and CN2 is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders.
And back we are here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop. Very pleased to have with us Karen Brackett Browning with Carolina Community Actions. If you have not met this lady, when you see her at Substation 2 or see her down at her office or wherever, talk to her a few minutes. She's got a wealth of information. And the one thing she's really taught me is how you deal with all these grant programs and government programs and how you have to dot every I, cross every T, or you're going to get yourself upside down pretty quickly. Because me, I'm just the opposite. I don't dot I's, I don't cross T's, but she reels me in all the time. Good. So what have we got? You've got some work underway here now locally in the city with the mayor. Tell me about that. Did you say that you had the mayor's council meeting or mayor's?
Well, actually, we are getting ready for our 60th anniversary next year, but May is Community Action Month. Yeah, wanted to mention that May is National Community Action Month to keep before the forefront what community action is about. And we've talked about that in the first segment of this program, that community action success is dependent upon the collective efforts of the entire community and its institutions. I cannot stress enough how we value the partnerships. Your partnership definitely on the Pathways Board. You talked about it takes all individuals as diverse as our offerings are to come together to ensure success in this community. So there are several things that we need to be cognizant of, and there are several issues that we are addressing at the same time. But with that being said, we need to also celebrate our successes. So I just express appreciation to you in that regard. And so during the month of May, we will be talking about and highlighting what some of those successes are, but also what some of the challenges are and how we need to develop those strategic action plans to ensure, again, that we create opportunity for everyone in the community.
Now, under successes, I would have to list Bethel, Lifehouse, Pathways. Those would be the top three things that come to my mind because all of them have grown to meet the needs, but the need is still greater than what they're able to provide. So that's an ongoing challenge that people can't forget.
Well, I think knowing that those entities actually were incubated through Pathways, through other partners in the community and Pathways. That is what, and again, community actions, that's what we do. Incubate entities to meet the needs of the community. But again, we have to accept success for it because we have individuals that are contacting those entities on a daily basis outside of our service area because they've heard of the good work that's going on within those particular organizations and within the Pathways organization and other partnerships that we have in this particular community. And while there is much work to be done, our efforts and our information that we have will show success.
And I think it's important to point out that Lifehouse and Bethel, Pathways, they've accumulated a bunch of data. We finally have a bunch of good data.
We do.
And it dismisses, to the large part, this myth that a lot of the homeless community are from out of this area. That is not right. The numbers are like 85% of the people who are coming through the front door pathways, and these are people who want help, they're coming there, are from our own community here, from Rock Hill, from Fort Mill, from TKK, they're from all over the place. So this is our problem. It's not a problem that's being thrown on our lap from somewhere else. You would agree with that?
I agree with that very much so, but I also agree that there are others that are looking for opportunities in our community.
Yeah.
You know, because York County has been very blessed with many opportunities from the private sector and the public sector, and as a result of that, we have individuals that want to relocate to this area. So we have individuals that are coming into this area. They know family members, they have family members and friends that are in this area, but sometimes they come and not necessarily do their research beforehand to ensure that they would be in stable housing, etc. They may be coming, escaping domestic situations. There are a variety of issues that they may be escaping, just looking for a better life.
Okay, we got about a minute and a half left. I want you to tell us a little bit about the needs that you all have at CCA, because you need help too.
I need help. We have a Head Start program. As you know, Head Start, we have 4 sites here in York County. We have one in Clover, one in York County, one in York, one in Fort Mill, and one in Rock Hill. And we are heavily recruiting in the children and families for that program. We serve with the early Head Start children ages 0 to 3 and the pre-K ages 3 and 5. We also have employment opportunities available.
Oh, yeah.
So please contact us. We do offer a competitive salary, lucrative benefits, tuition reimbursement, and student loan forgiveness.
Hello.
So please contact us. There are opportunities available. If you have a compassion and a heart to serve others, we can place you within our organization. Please come out and help us to serve our neighbors in the community.
Teachers, caregivers,
Yes.
bus drivers, you need them all.
We need them all.
How many people does CCA employ?
Currently, we have 126 employees in the 5-county area.
Isn't that something? Well, Karen, we could sit here and talk all afternoon. You did a great job as usual. CCA, you can find out more about them online at what?
We have a new website. It's www.carolinacommunityaction.org. So
you got to spell it out, carolinacommunityaction.org.
You have to spell it out.
Her name is Karen Brackett Browning. You can find out more about them online at carolinacommunityaction.org. Thank you for being here, Karen, and all you do.
Thank you.
And that's going to wrap up our Straight Talk program live from Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop, presented by Founders Federal Credit Union, Relax Your with Founders, and by Anderson Griggs Investments in Old Town Rock Hill. Common sense, intelligent advice for conservative investors. You can find out more online at andersongriggs.com. All right, we hang out here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop. Yes, we do. And we do fresh subs and salads. Rick Lee, wake up. We do fresh subs and salads 6 days a week. Get on over here. The way we do it is in the white letters, and, of course, we can't do it without you. At the count of 3, let's do this together. 1, 2, 3. Slice, slice. Garden, garden, garden. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow. Bye.
To build your brand and grow your business, join me, Russell J. White, the business coach, Fridays here on WRHI 100.1 FM.
There are lots of reasons why people like dining at Substation 2.
Hit the spot, definitely. Friends are great, and the company's great, and the food is fantastic. Bread's fresh, and they make my special for me every day.
I'm Charlie Ruffalo, and I guarantee you'll feel the same way after eating here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop.
South Carolina's most honored radio station. News Talk 100.1 WRHI Rock Hill. W261CY Rock Hill. The voice of York County.
An OTS media station.
The immunity arguments are over. Elisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court wrapping up questions over former President Trump's claim he should have immunity from federal prosecution over actions taken while still in office. Fox's David Spunt at the Supreme Court.
This is something the Supreme Court typically allots an hour, hour and a half. This went almost 3 hours to show you the stakes there. This case is about much more than Donald Trump. This goes into the future with presidential immunity. The former president, though, charged with attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election, claims that allegations surround a time when he was still president. He says that he cannot be indicted because he was president. His attorney, John Sauer, pressed on several points of this very argument.
Some of the questions centering on the difference between official acts and private acts and whether that distinction should matter in this case. A federal judge just ruling the former president is not entitled to a new trial over writer E. Jean Carroll's claims, rejecting an effort to toss out that defamation judgment. The former president's first criminal trial continues in New York. Before heading to court, he was at a construction site early this morning.
I built a lot of buildings with the Teamsters, and they like me, a lot of Teamsters here, and it's an amazing show of affection.
The Teamsters haven't endorsed anyone yet in the presidential race, but a larger building trades union group that they're part of endorsed President Biden yesterday. President Biden says the U.S. economy remains strong with steady and stable growth after a new report showing weaker growth than expected in the first quarter at 1.6%, rattling Wall Street. The Dow's down 460 points. It was down more than 600 earlier. The tug of war over net neutrality continues with the Democratic majority on the